Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new e.l.f. contour palette. Now this is a palette that is only $6 on e.l.f.'s website. I haven't seen it in any stores near me, but it's definitely on their site, and I'm on it right this second, and it's in stock. I know things like this tend to go out of stock really quick, but it is in stock right now as I'm filming this. This has 4 different shades, 2 contour / bronzy shades, and then 2 highlighting shades. So let's go ahead and get into the demo of how I used it today. I used every single shade in here today on my face, and then we'll get into the pros and cons of this product. So let's go ahead and dig into this palette and see how I've been using it. So first I'm going to start with this gray toned powder right here. I'm going to use this as a contour, and I'm using this brush. It's kind of a medium-sized powder brush from Referral, and I'm just going to get plenty on there. And I'm just gonna focus it right where I typically would, just to about where your brow bone ends, just that little chunk right there. And just kind of back and forth. And you see, it really is a nice tone for a contour. You always want that gray tone, and it's so hard to find. If you are a little bit lighter like I am, it's hard to find one that's not too deep that it makes you look like you're on stage, like stage makeup. So I'm going to get a little bit more focus right at my hairline. There we go. And just kind of blend it down a little bit. So that's all I'm going to do. Let's do the other side. Now I'm going to take a brush that has nothing on it and kind of blend it a little bit. Now I'm going to use the more bronzy color with like a really thick, almost kabuki type brush. This is from Morphe. It's their M219. I bought it on HauteLook for really cheap. Morphe's on there all the time. And people, I know everyone's like Morphe crazy, which I'm not really here or there on them, but they're on HauteLook all the time for really cheap. So I just got plenty. I'm kind of tapping it off, and I'm just going to bronze up the upper areas of my face. And I'm going to get some more. And just anywhere the sun would naturally hit. And I'm kind of taking it down into that contour to make it look like it's all one piece, in a way. And I'm kind of sloppy about it, because if I'm needing to look a little bit tanner, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just kind of going back into that and buffing that in, and even just a little bit down here, just like the excess. I don't really go crazy with it. Now let's go into the highlighting part of it. I'm using a smaller brush from Referral. Could be anything. e.l.f. sells amazing ones. I just grabbed this one. It's a lot smaller, and I'm going to use this yellow toned one here for setting my under eye concealer. I'm trying out a new concealer. It's the Maybelline Master Conceal, and it looks really, really oily, and it's driving me bonkers. So I'm hoping this yellow tone is really great for brightening your under eye, and it's really, really, there's a lot that comes out, so I always tap it off. But I'm just gonna kind of push it into that area and then buff. Back and forth. And I'm gonna take it up a little bit on my cheekbone. I'm gonna get some more for my other eye. It's just a really oily concealer. I don't know how I feel about that, but I love this powder for setting it, because again, not only does it kind of mattify that area, but it serves to add a little bit more coverage as well. So I already look so much more put together. Does kick up a lot of powder. Now I'm gonna kind of wipe off that excess on that same brush, because I like the shape of this brush. And I'm gonna use the white tone to actually highlight this area. But before I do that, I'm going to put on a blush. So this is the order I like to do things. So the blush I'm going to use is just one from NYX called Soft Spoken. It's a beautiful one. These are really inexpensive. And I'm using a Real Techniques blush brush. And I'm just going to get some on, tap off the extra, and just put it right at the apples of my cheeks. Again, this is a nice color because you can't really screw it up if you're not good at like the placement of your blush. You can't really screw it up. I'm going to get a little bit more since it is a lighter color. I love the tone of this blush, just like a nice flush. So now I'm going to take that white tone in there to serve as a highlight on that same small brush. Definitely want to tap off the excess of this, and I'm just focusing it right at the top of my cheekbones. And you can already see the glow it just added. Wow, and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit up here, right above my brow, kind of. Get a little bit more for the other side. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And if you wanted, I mean, this is a really shimmery one. You could bring it down here or up there. In fact, you could take the yellow tone one that's not shimmery that I used to set the under eye and brighten this area a little bit if you wanted. As kind of a powder highlight, and it also, again, serves to mattify. You could bring it down your nose on your filtrum there. And you could really go crazy and take the contour shade with smaller brushes and contour your nose or all those other areas you can contour, but for every day, I mean, I don't even contour every day, but if you were wanting to, I think this is perfect for what you'd need it for. It does kick up a lot of powder, but I love the way it naturally makes your skin look just more defined, but it's nothing over the top. I really, really can't believe this is $6. So obviously, I really like this product. I can't believe that for $6 you can get 4 different powders that can do so much for your face and make you look so much more put together without spending like $50. There are so many contour kits out there right now that are so expensive for the exact same thing as this, and some of them aren't even as nice. I did a dupe video for the Anastasia contour kit with this other one that was like, I think $20 or $25 when I got it. And I can link that below, but honestly, this is even better and it's way cheaper. I love it. So one of the big bonuses, the packaging is simple. You know, e.l.f. always does like the really sleek black packaging. But from what I have heard, you can pop these little babies out and like interchange them. They have blush palettes and foundation palettes and a bronzer palette. And I've got a lot of those different ones. Yes, you can. So if you just push up on the bottom, it pops right out. So you could literally make your own. Like if I wanted to just take maybe the contour shade and then the highlight shades, and then I wanted to trade out the bronzer for something, I could put in a blush or whatever. I think that is absolutely genius of them. So the packaging is a huge plus. This doesn't have any noticeable smell. The texture of all of them, I did mention that it does kick up a lot of dust, but they're all crazy pigmented. I mean, crazy pigmented. And here's kind of like swatches of them right there. They're beautiful, you guys. They feel so high-end and so kind of buttery, especially the highlight shades. So I have been wearing this past week a lot, and it's really hot, it's summertime, and it stays put. Now, I don't think that like I put it on at like 8:30 yesterday morning and I was working in my classroom and all this other stuff. By the time I would say about 8 p.m. rolled around, you couldn't really see the contour as well. So I wouldn't say that it'll last, 16 hours and you never need to touch it up, but if you know that you're going out at night, you might want to touch it up. But I would say that would be true for any contouring palette I've ever used. None of them seem to last like 20 hours or whatever, so I don't really mind that as much, but it is something worth knowing. For applying these, I don't think it really matters what brushes you used. I've used every kind that I own. I've used e.l.f.'s brushes, which are amazing, more expensive brushes, Sigma brushes, MAC brushes. It doesn't matter. They all apply beautifully. And what I like about these is you can really build them to be a lot deeper if you want it to be a lot more noticeable. Whereas if you want it to just look really natural, you can do that as well. Like I said, you can buy this on e.l.f., eyeslipsface.com. I haven't seen it in any stores. I don't know if they eventually will be, but I have a feeling these will sell out fast. Apparently, they had an ambient like highlighting palette. I didn't even know about it. I was out of the country, and I came back and they're sold out. I'm like, when did this happen? So I'm dying to get my hands on this ambient palette that they supposedly had, because oh my gosh, if it's a dupe for the Hourglass one, I'll lose my mind. So e.l.f. usually has sales, like they'll have the Studio, which this is part of their Studio line, 50% off all the Studio products, or just 40% site-wide, or free shipping if you spend $20. I mean, they've constantly got some sort of sale going on, so definitely look it up. Overall, would I recommend this? Obviously, I would recommend this. This thing is incredible. So hopefully this video was helpful or enjoyable for you. If you enjoyed, please subscribe for more e.l.f. videos like this. I can link my e.l.f. playlist below. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.